Welcome to Refocus-On-U, the podcast that takes you through a spiritual journey of overcoming the battles and gaining the victories in your life by incorporating the 8 fundamentals of health. Connect with us online at RefocusOnU.com. That's RefocusOn.com. Or connect with us on Facebook at Facebook.com/RefocusOnU. Now, sit back, rest, relax, refocus, renew, relive, and trust in God completely. Here is your host, Malinda P, and co-host, Dr. E.
Hello, hello, hello. Yes, yes. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, I'm Malinda P, and welcome to my new show called Refocus-On-U with my co-host, Dr. E.
How's everybody doing? I hope you all are having a fantastic week.
Refocus on you. Refocus on you. Refocus on you. Let's get focused, y'all. Refocus on you. Refocus on you. Refocus on you. Life is so good. Don't waste your time. It's never too late. Refocus on you. Refocus on you. Refocus on you. Refocus on you. Tell me how to put it all together. Tell me how to put it all together. Tell me how to put it all together. Refocus on you.
Let's get real about this.
Yes, yes. You know, Refocus on You is about managing the 5 R's. We have rest, relax, refocus, renew, and relive. And folks, many of you do not know me. In fact, I am new to the podcast life, shall I say. But to give you a little background about myself before we get started, 14 years ago, my life took a turn for the worse. And some of you out there can understand how 1 minute we're doing this, and then, we're planning events, we're going on trips, having babies, or maybe even getting ready for retirement. And then you get hit hard with something that cancels your plans or the things that you were looking so forward to do in life. And then boom, something happens. I call what I got hit was a boomerang. Dr. A, a boomerang. What happened was I had been saving my money, or shall I say building up my little queen nest egg here, having 2 different 401k accounts, 4 different bank accounts, all of that. And Guys, I was no joke when it came to my money. And back then, my thinking was my money. Yes. But you know what? 1 Timothy 6:10 tells us, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And like I said, back then, I loved my money. You did not play with Christine's money.
That's right. And you know what? We don't want anyone to think that money is bad. God is not saying that money is bad. Listen, you need money. You can't pay clams or some fish or apple pie. You need money. What God is saying is the love of money, not money, but the love of it. And here's the difference. A lot of times people will change their life or create a lifestyle where everything about it revolves around the money. And when that money is taken away, life for them is over. And that's what we're talking about when we say the love of money. So Malinda P is not saying having money is bad.
Exactly. Well, we don't want to be worshiping money. And that was the problem,
So that's what she's saying. She's saying the love.
It's the love,
of
guys.
it.
That's right.
It is what gets people into trouble. You were a very successful woman. You loved your money. And go ahead, Malinda P.
And so I was working for the Department of Defense on the Air Force Base, and I was making some good money. I'm also an Air Force veteran. Shout out to all my veterans out there. Hey. But anyway, I was looking forward to retiring from the government at 57 years old. And I was like, shoot, when I get 57, I'm done. You know, stick a fork in it, but I'm done.
I'm out of here. Right. I'm out of here.
But you know what, guys? Proverbs 16:9 really says it best. It says in verse 9, we make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. And I had all these plans to retire, you know, to do this, to build up this. When I finish, when I get 57, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I had all these plans, guys. I had my plans. I never consulted God. And yes, at the age of 35, I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, given a maximum lifespan of 7 years. That's right, guys, 7 years if I was lucky. Ooh. But you know what? I'm here to tell you through prayer and incorporating the 8 laws of health, God enabled me to gain the victory over my disease. So, folks, I want to take a little break so I can go and refreshen my tea. And I advise you to do the same thing too, you know. Grab you a beverage and a snuggie blanket and sit back and relax as you take a peek of how I got over and what God did for me.
Stick around. More with Malinda P. and Dr. E is on the way. Refocus on You will be right back.
He is the one, the reigning sun.
Connect with us online at RefocusOnU.com. That's RefocusOn.U.com. Once again, here are Malinda P. and Dr. E.
All right, folks, we are back. Now, did you get your Snuggie blanket, huh? All right, you are tuning in to Refocus on You podcast. I am your host, Malinda P, and my awesome, beautiful co-host, Dr. E. And we're on Envision Radio. That's right, Envision Radio at www.envision-radio.com. And so what I did was earlier, I gave you a little brief summary of myself and how I started Refocus on You ministry because of these unexpected challenges we face that we just don't see coming and how we have to call on God. And guys, I am so in love with Jesus because he really is the only reason that 14 years later, I am able to speak with you today. And so, Dr. E, I want to bring Dr. E on. And Dr. E, how have you been doing? Like, the kids are back to school and, not sure if things are calmed down in the household yet. Dr. E has 6 kids, but I believe 3 or 4 of them are still at home. What is it like in your household right now?
Well, I am the little old lady
who lived in a shoe
that she had so
she didn't know what to do. Right.
And here is what I listen. Whatever we are paying teachers, I say triple it right now. We are not paying these teachers enough. I know that now because I have walked a half a mile. I did a mile in their shoes. I only took 2 steps and said, these shoes don't fit.
Listen to her, guys.
I'm not a teacher.
Oh, wow.
Okay, listen, you all. If that's what you do, there are some.
But Dr. E, being a physician,
I have some awesome. Go ahead.
But Dr. E, being a physician, you're always teaching many people, so it seemed like it would be natural to you.
Well, you know what? It's a difference in teaching patients and teaching your own kids.
Okay.
See, when you come in and pay you to tell them what's wrong with them. But, your children aren't paying you. They expect you to do everything for free, and then they don't want to hear anything you have to say. So I'm just saying to you, it's difficult teaching children. Let's give these teachers whatever they want. An outstanding, excellent job on teaching my children the basics of the ABCs all the way down to science, the basic component of life is a cell. And I appreciate them. I just didn't know how valuable they were until they were gone. And that brings me back to something, Malinda P. Sometimes we have the greatest gifts, and we don't know that they are the greatest gifts until they're gone, or until they are under attack, or until there are some changes that we're not comfortable with. And I know that is exactly what happened to you. Here you are, a young, beautiful, strong woman, military, working, and something happened. And now the very foundation of your lifestyle is being challenged. But before we go there, I want to ask you something. Tell me, we're going to find out about the woman, but tell me about the girl, Christine. What kind of girl was Christine? I mean, how did this girl go from being this girl to suddenly being this world-traveled military person and working and living in other countries? I'm just saying a lot of people don't have the courage to do things like that. Where did that come from?
Yes, the girl. Wow. Well, Dr. E, I can tell you one thing. I was a good child. I really was.
What?
I was.
For many years. Yeah. I don't recall that.
I was blessed. I thank God for giving me just tremendous parents, a mother and a father who just absolutely loved me, just absolutely loved me. And there was just so much love in my home growing up, which was a blessing. I really feel for the families and the children and people who grew up in broken homes and dysfunctional homes. But I can honestly say I grew up in the perfect home. My family reminded me so much of Leave It to Beaver, okay? Leave It to Beaver, only up until a certain time. But I am the oldest. And I have a brother that's 6 years younger than me. And so, like I said, and again, in the beginning, it was just perfect. It was just perfect. And I remember at the age of 5 years old. I was born in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and a shout out to my zoo folks. We had moved to Detroit, Southfield, Michigan. And I remember I was about 5, 6 years old. I remember this like yesterday, and it was Christmas time, It was Christmas time, and there was so many presents underneath the tree. And by then, it was just me. My brother didn't even exist at that time. But anyway, it was so many presents. And I look at the names and they were all for me. And it's like, oh my gosh. It's like, and I'm the only child. And by then, like at that time, I'm the only child. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is for me. And I remember going out to my friends, look, telling them, come over here, come over to my house. Look at my gifts, doing one of that Hezekiah when he was telling people to, come into his house and see the gifts,
yes,
right?
Come and see what I got.
Right. That's what I was. And I'm like, look, come. And I was bringing crowds of friends and even little kids I didn't know. And I'm like, oh, you got to come to my house. You got to come. I mean, I literally had about 50 presents under that tree. I mean, it just seemed like it was just.
Wow.
Right. Wow. And so I was like, oh my God, you got to come. So I was inviting all the neighborhood, and they friends. Dr. E, and it was like, I'd say a couple of days later was Christmas. And I was just so excited. I couldn't sleep, and I just wanted to get in and open them presents really quick, because I had bragged all over the little, neighborhood talking about, oh, I got a lot of gifts. How many gifts you got,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got more than that. And so as I rip open the packages, the Christmas wrapping, I look at it and I'm like, Mom, I think I have this already. I think I have that already. And my mother says, really?
Wait. So you open a gift.
So I open a gift. And the first one.
Recognized as a gift that maybe you already have.
Right. I recognize and I'm like, Mom, I think I have this gift already. She says, really? My mother says, really? Are you sure, honey? Mm-hmm. I said, yeah. So I get the next, I throw that to the side. Look, I toss it to the side, right? I open the next gift. And I said, I have this already. I already got this toy. And my mom said, really? I tossed that one to the next side. It got to the point where I think I got to the sixth gift, and they were all my gifts. And you know what? After opening about, after opening.
Wait a minute. So you had all these gifts underneath the tree. You opened these gifts that were so lovingly wrapped. And to find out that each gift was something that you had been given in the past.
Exactly.
They were gifts that you had received, but maybe hadn't played with, and your mommy rewrapped them.
That's what my mommy did. And so that's exactly what I'm saying. And so really, when it boiled down to it, there was only one gift that was new. There was only one gift. Only one gift. And I didn't realize, my mother said she said she wanted to teach me a lesson because she said she noticed I was not playing with those toys. And, at that time, it was all about me, And so she wanted to give me a lesson. And let me tell you, that was probably the best lesson ever, because to this day, when my mother gives me something, I take time before I open it. Who knows? Yes.
So wait a minute. You gave us this story like this was a Dune and Beaver Cleaver story.
Right.
You
Right. But mama still didn't play. Now, mama was still like a leave it a beaver, type of wife, but mama still didn't play. She believed in the value of things and appreciating things. And so that really kind of instilled in me as well.
As a child, you learned early on to appreciate the gifts that you had, not just the new gifts that were coming, already received through this lifelong lesson that your mother taught you. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And putting that in perspective with our health, sometimes would you agree that we do not appreciate every breath that God gives us, every opportunity that we have to laugh or to cry or to walk, eat? These are all gifts that we live with day in and day out and don't appreciate the fact that we can do them as being a blessing, a gift. Would that be an honest and accurate portrayal that often the things we do, as a matter of fact, just getting up and some being able to jump out the bed and go run in the shower and get dressed, that's a blessing. That's a gift.
Exactly. And you're right. A lot of these things we don't appreciate. We take so much for granted. And I had took so much for granted of, getting all these toys and tossing them to the side when I didn't feel like being bothered. But my mother had to show me the value of things as well as my health. And this is what I'm saying. This is why it came back to me years later. Over the years, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize the value of taking care of my health. I was taking it for granted. I would get me something, as a young adult, go to a fast food place or as we say, my aunt says, throw a bone in my mouth, and keep it moving. I was not looking at my health in the way that I needed to look at. And so that's why I encourage people to be blessed if you've got great health, you're not battling with any diabetes, kidney, cholesterol, autoimmune disease, any other kind of illness. If you're not battling with any of those and you're feeling great and you are 100% healthy, oh my gosh, appreciate it. Appreciate it, folks, and keep living a good, healthy life to keep it that way, because you don't never know, you just don't never know when things will be taken away from you. Yeah.
That's right. And so, Malinda P, you learned to really appreciate the things that you had through that object lesson. Let me ask you, you're this little girl, this young girl, you're really, fun and engaging and things like that. How do you remember your outlook as this young girl that had everything, a loving home with two parents, which many of us would only hope for, getting everything that you want, living a life in suburbia? What was your outlook as a little girl?
Yes. Oh my gosh, my outlook on life as a little girl. It was perfect. I was like this princess born in Wonderland here. Everything was just perfect, I was a daddy's little girl. I was a daddy's little girl to the T. My father was in my life all the time. He was there. My mother was there. In fact, I can honestly say I was a daddy and a mama's girl. Life was just great. What Christine wanted, Christine got. And Christine, that is my first name. Malinda is my middle name. And like I said, what I wanted, I got. It was just perfect. It was just perfect until my mother had to get pregnant with the second child.
With your little brother?
Which is my little brother.
You stole my mommy.
Exactly. He stole my shine, You know what I'm saying? He started to be the prized possession. It's like, what in the world? Everything was perfect when I was, when it was just me, But yes, I am blessed. I am blessed. I did have a great life. I had a great childhood life. It's funny because I was the type where at 6, 7 years old, instead of being outside hanging out with my friends, I would tell them like, look, I got to go inside and watch me some One Life to Live. I'll be back. I'll catch y'all later. I was an old soul. I'd be, and evening times be sitting up with Dad watching Knots Landing and Dynasty, and Dallas.
Is she telling her age now?
Yeah, I'm really telling my age, But I thank God. I thank God for the things that He, all that He's done for me. And the childhood that I had to experience some great memories, and some fun times.
And so here you are, this woman who was blessed with a wonderful childhood. And you have, your parents have established the foundation of you're their little girl and now you've got a brother coming. And so everything changes, doesn't it?
Exactly. Everything changes. You're right.
And, that goes back to what you were saying, how you're living this perfect life and this unexpected
Yes,
thing.
Yes.
And let's just be honest. I mean, you didn't ask for a little brother.
No, of course not.
You love I know your little brother. You love him, and I love him too.
Of course I do.
But your parents threw a monkey wrench into your plan. You're the object of their attention and affection, and through no choice of your own, they threw in a little brother. Now life changes. And sometimes how we get through things is not the fact that they've happened, but how we respond to them. And we are going somewhere with this, you all, because we're talking about how people can live with things, terminal illnesses, and how people can live with things that just seem like they are so to the extreme and unbearable. It isn't what has happened. Sometimes it's just how we respond. And so we're going somewhere. When we see you next week, we're going to talk a little bit more to Malinda P about the teenage years. And I'm going to hold her feet to the fire when it comes to teenage years.
Boy. All right. That's a wrap, guys. All right. Yes. So thank you so much for tuning in. You've been listening to the Refocus-On-U podcast with your host, Malinda P, and your co-host, Dr. E, on Wednesday at noon on Envision Radio. That's right. www.envision-radio.com. Catch us next week as we discuss part 2 of my journey, the teenage years. I call it From Victim to Victory. I guarantee it. You don't want to miss it. If you want to send a message or have any questions regarding our shows, you can email me at MalindaP@RefocusOnU.com. That's Malinda P, MalindaP @RefocusOnU.com, or visit my website at www.refocusonu.com. That's again, www.refocusonu.com. As we say in Portuguese, até logo. Let's see you later, folks.
You've been listening to Refocus on You with Malinda P. and Dr. E. Connect with us online at RefocusOnU.com. That's RefocusOn.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Facebook.com/RefocusOnU. Refocus on You is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that helps people who have been given a life-threatening medical diagnosis to have life-saving resources. The organization's goal is to improve the overall health and quality of life for individuals. Your generous contribution will go to make sure that the vision of Refocus on You will continue helping all of those who are in need of help navigating through devastating health diagnoses. Be sure and sign up for our free newsletter, where you'll be the first to receive up-to-date information on how Refocus on You can help you live a more healthy, positive lifestyle, despite the roadblocks that you may encounter in your life's journey.